From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
As we go into a big afternoon, $1,400 third stimulus checks will be landing by direct deposit for some viewers tomorrow and the day after. That is the March 31st effective date for third wave of the $1,400 stimulus check. It includes people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, and veterans benefits. Others will be getting the stimulus checks in the mail. Nearly 50% of the viewers of this channel will be getting in the mail. These are all exclusive details you're only hearing from this channel. And that March 26th effective date of a stimulus check in the mail is now coming late. I have all those details as well. And that April 2nd to April 5th effective stimulus check date is still on its way as well. You're going to see that later this week. Meantime, the president makes a series of major announcements today. One about the vaccine, one about eviction moratorium, another one about the pharmacies. I have all that exciting big news happening across the board. With that new video from the White House you're going to see right now. Also, shocking video from the CDC as the head of the CDC, Dr. Walensky, breaks down the latest update about SSA and its delivery of that information to Treasury. Meantime, what is Chuck Schumer doing with an exciting new twist on the reconciliation? That informed delivery consent, how it has helped millions of viewers of this channel ensure that they do not miss that stimulus check in the mail. And why are reoccurring stimulus checks becoming a big issue as we go into the new day? Also, finally, why is the eviction moratorium causing some people to sell their properties in fire sales? All these details as we go into a big Afternoons of LA across the board, from Wall Street to Main Street, from my home to your home. There's a lot happening, and I have all the great details for you as we start Afternoons LA, starting right now. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Wall Street has just closed, and it was a relatively calm day on Wall Street today. The Dow and the NASDAQ remained relatively flat, with the Dow ending up 98 points, less than 1%. The NASDAQ down 79 points, less than 1% as well. The Dow was up to 100 points at one point, but pulled back. And this is after a major fund indicates that it had a margin call, and that could cause major implications across banks. What's going on? That some banks saw a major credit group had a call on their equities on Friday. That is causing a lot of uncertainty for their first quarter earnings. We'll see more about that unfold over the next few weeks. Hey, how are you? If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. It's birthday week here on LA, so give a birthday subscription. It's free to do so. I don't want you to miss a single recording, and there's one more right after this before we go into Evenings LA. And this recording has a lot in there, so in it. So stay to the end of this recording because there's a lot in here. Also, like this video. Let's try to get to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 likes. And if you're not become a member, consider becoming a member. This is what's happening. A third wave of stimulus checks has been confirmed. Confirmed by who? The IRS tool. I told you on Saturday exclusively a series of details, and they have now been all confirmed by the IRS tool. A third wave of $1,400 third stimulus checks will be landing for direct deposit for some viewers, not all, but for some, this March 31st. The effective date of the drop is March 31st. Viewers on Direct Express have gotten alerts of March 31st. Viewers with credit unions and big banks have gotten alerts as well for March 31st. When will the funds be available? Big banks and Direct Express, March 31st. Smaller banks, H&R Block, Direct Express, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, Chime, Cash App would release the funds beforehand. And have some? Yes. MetaBank and NetSpend have released funds over the weekend, this channel can report. So what should you expect for Wednesday? Wednesday, watch your bank because it may post without an alert. It may post without an alert into your bank. But understand this, and I gotta say this as clearly and loudly and as strongly as possible. The vast majority of you will not get a direct deposit. It will be in the mail. It will be in the mail. If you're on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security and Railroad benefits and got a first and second stimulus check on Direct Express by Comerica, it may be in the mail, not going to Direct Express by Comerica. If you're on benefits and you get your monthly benefits by direct deposits, got that first and second stimulus check, and you're signed up for big banks like Bank America, Chase, or PNG, or anything like that, it may not be going to your big bank. It may be going to the mail. Finally, if you pay your taxes or tax returns and got that tax return on file in early February to update your tax information, it may also be in the mail. Getting stimulus checks in the mail has been sort of an adverse, don't want to hear it, don't want to see it sort of situation of a lot of viewers. A lot of viewers have had a sort of hard coming around to understand that while they got that first and second by direct deposit, you set up everything to have it for direct deposit, they're sort of averse to hearing that it's coming in the mail. And I don't want that to happen. Why? Because if it comes in the mail and you throw it away, it's very, very hard to replace it. And Direct Express will not help you. Your banks won't help you because they will never have gotten the check. It was in the mail and you threw it away. So what does the mail check look like? And what envelope should you look for? You should be watching that mail today and all this week and all next week, and also watching that deposit account because it may be there. Who's getting it and who's not getting it? You are not getting a stimulus check if you have a representative payee. It goes to the payee, not you. If you are a dependent on someone else's tax return, it's not going to you. It goes to them. If you are a member of a household, let's say a husband and wife with 2 kids, it's not going to the kid. It's going to the parent that is the head of the household. If you're a husband and wife and you joint filers, then it's going to the lead name on the joint filer. One check for the whole household. Also, what does that check envelope look like? It looks like this. It's plain Jane. It can be missed. It looks like junk mail. It looks like spam mail. It's thin. It's loose. It has almost no weight to it. It's easy to toss. And yet, it's worth $1,400. It will be either a white envelope or a beige envelope. This was the white one for second stimulus. It'll have red lettering on there potentially. It says information about your economic impact payment. Again, those keywords, economic impact payment. You don't want to throw this check away. You don't want to miss the mail. You don't want to not look at the mail because it may be in the mail and you're looking at the Direct Express account and it was in the mail and you threw it away. It will not send you an alert from your bank if it's in the mail because they don't have it. It's in the mail. And 50% of you will never, ever get anything connected with the bank because it's coming in the mail. Meantime, that March 26 check, great news across the board because the March 26 check is now landing. That March 26 check is landing in either this type of white envelope or a beige envelope, either a check or a debit card from IRS, and it's landing today, the 29th. Yeah, it's coming late, but this is great news. We didn't know what was going on with this March 26 check. Hundreds of thousands of viewers. This channel had an IRS tool result of March 26th, didn't get it the 26th or 27th. Great news. It's coming today, the 29th. About 100 plus viewers got it today, the 29th, which means if you didn't get it today, the 29th, it's likely tomorrow on the 30th, or could even be the 31st. Then there's those viewers that had that April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th check result. Guess what? That is going to land as well. More about when that's landing later in this video. Stay with me because I got a lot coming up. Also, viewers are now reporting that the IRS tool is now updating for some of them, and it's now showing a March 31st direct deposit date. Told you. So March 31st by direct deposit for some of you, others in the mail. And that March 31st direct deposit, it will be available for you to withdraw from big banks on the 31st. Bank America, Chase, Citicorp, those are the big banks. They'll release the funds on the 31st, not before. Why? Because they are going off of the effective date of the check. So what should you know? If you do not have any tracking results, nothing on the IRS.com tool or .gov tool, nothing in your bank, nothing anywhere, lean on the information of the viewers of this channel and understand that your dates are very clear. If you are a big bank customer or Direct Express, it's March 31st. If it's not there March 31st, it ain't coming. It's in the mail. It ain't coming. It's in the mail. And if you're trying to figure out where that March 26th check is, now the viewers of this channel have helped you because they got it late today, the 29th. More will likely get it tomorrow, the 30th. And if you're on April 2nd, the 3rd, 4th, stay with me because I got more about that as well. Meantime, I'll have more details for you in a second about what to expect tomorrow for direct deposit and mail check. That's all coming up in a second. But minutes ago, the president appeared before the American people to talk about the pandemic. And this is amid a new news report from Politico, in which Politico claims that the president's rollout of vaccines to FEMA locations did not work. That those FEMA locations are only delivering about 40 to 50,000 doses per day. That the success for the president instead has been the pharmacies. The pharmacies have done incredible great news for the president, and that's why today the president's ramped up with the pharmacies because the FEMA locations are not working. The pharmacies have done about 1 million a day and are now doing 5 million over 4 days. Today the president announced that he's increasing the amount of doses to the pharmacies right away. Let's listen in.
Has stepped up, taken responsibility, and launched a massive federal vaccination program. Governors and mayors of both political parties, Republicans and Democrats, have stepped up as well. Our military, our National Guard, FEMA, they have all been incredible. Healthcare providers, community leaders from all walks of life.
The
So
new
many
Politico report
volunteers
says
of all
FEMA
ages
has
and
not
backgrounds
been
stepped up as
incredible.
well.
That rather the president has not
10
delivered the numbers to FEMA, that FEMA has only been doing about 40, 50, 60,000 doses a day nationally, that the success rather has been in the pharmacies. Let's listen in more.
In just 40 days. You heard me say many times before, our progress on vaccination is a stunning example that there's nothing this country cannot do if we put our minds to it and we do it together. But as I've also said, I will always give you it straight from the shoulder. Our work is far from over. The war against COVID-19 is far from won. This is deadly serious. We share the sentiment of Dr. Walensky, the head of the Center for Disease Control and Prevention. The CDC expressed earlier today, this is not a time to lessen our efforts. That's what she said. We could still see a setback in the vaccination program. And most importantly, if we let our guard down now, we could see a virus getting worse, not better. You know, as many people as we've vaccinated, we still have more Americans left to go. You know, we will administer more shots in March than any country on earth. But even so, we have to give more shots in April than we did in March. Because we're in the life and death race with the virus that is spreading quickly, with cases rising again, new variants are spreading, and sadly, some of the reckless behavior we've seen on television over the past few weeks means that more new cases are to come in the weeks ahead. With vaccines, there's hope, which is a very good thing, to state the obvious. But people are letting up on precautions, which is a very bad thing.
What the president goes on to detail is that citizens and governors have relaxed situations, and because of that, there's been a new surge of positive cases across the country. Detailed today. How big is the new surge? Detailed later in this video, I'll show you the CDC video in which the president's referring to. The numbers released today are not good. The numbers show today that there's a 16% increase, at least according to Johns Hopkins, week to week of new COVID cases. That's 16% in 30 states of the country. But that the number on the day-to-day basis is even worse. There's a 5% increase of COVID cases per day in 30 states across the country. This is as spring break revelers hit the warm temperature cities across the board without masks, partying like it's 1999. And this is as those young adults are not vaccinated. In the president's message today, which in the video you saw just seconds ago, the president did deliver the incredible great news that anyone of adult age will be able to get a vaccine dose after April 19th based upon certain standards. So this is incredible great news. But the question is whether these people will adhere to guidelines in the meantime. April 19th is still several weeks away. Let's cut back to that $1,400 third stimulus check. What's important to understand is that there's a series of things to remember that are true and a series of things to remember that are false. Number one, no one on SSI and SSDI has gotten a stimulus check. False. They got stimulus checks on the first wave. They got stimulus checks on the second wave. There have been people, thousands and hundreds of thousands of people got stimulus checks on all the waves so far of the stimulus check. The reason why some people have not gotten stimulus checks, we really don't know. Number two, the reason why people haven't gotten stimulus checks is because they haven't provided that information to SSA. That's absolutely untrue. People have not gotten stimulus checks because it just hasn't landed. Today, viewers who had waited for that March 26th check to land, that IRS knew about their location, knew their name, knew everything about them, hadn't sent out the check. And today, March 29th, some appeared, but some did not appear. It's not an identification problem. It's a routing check problem. Checks are delayed. Number three, Direct Express consumers will all get Direct Express deposits. It won't come for a paper check for anyone on Direct Express. Untrue. On week two, wave two, Direct Express consumers got deposits, and they will get more deposits on Wednesday. In fact, they already have pending deposit alerts, which I've seen for this Wednesday. Next, the big banks are holding on your money. Well, in this case, they are. They've had the money for the third wave since Friday, but they'll release it this Wednesday for the effective date. Additionally, how about the comment, well, the mail is closed on Easter Sunday or Easter Day because that's not a banking holiday and that's the effective day of my check. Wrong. The date that appears on your check is not the day that you're receiving the check. It's also not the day that the check is mailed. That is the date that is actually written on the check. So if you see a date on the corner of the check that says April 8th, that is not the date in which you're getting the check or mailed the check. That is the date that the check is actually dated in the corner. Then, the reason why everything is backed up is because nothing was sent to SSA, to Treasury from SSA. Also untrue. Treasury has had information for viewers. Treasury paid first and second stimulus checks. Treasury have viewers, hundreds of thousands of viewers on SSI and SSDI in their IRS tool results, but have not delivered the checks on time. Additionally, how about this series of questions? In the IRS tool, it shows no stimulus information. That means I'm not getting a stimulus check. No, it means the tool doesn't work. The tool doesn't work for a lot of people. Additionally, let's try these series of questions. I show nothing pending, hence I'm not getting a stimulus check. Nope, 90% of the viewers never show a check pending. It just lands. How I know if it's coming to my bank if I don't show anything alert? Ultimately, you have to lean on the information of the viewers' channel. There is a microcosm of viewers, 500,000 to 1 million viewers every day, and they see trend lines, and the trend lines are the following. Over 50% of them are getting it by mail. They've gotten alerts from it's by mail. Those include people on Direct Express. Those include people on SSI and SSDI. Those include people who are expected by direct deposit. When are the mail dates? March 26th all the way to about April 5th. What is the earliest date? March 26th. What is the most common date? March 26th. What are the newer dates we're seeing for mail delivery today? March 31st is a new mail delivery date we're seeing, and March 30th. What is, how often is that tool updating itself? It updates itself on Saturday and updates for some viewers today as well. So you see how things are changing across the board, and you see how I try to stay on top of it. There's a lot happening here. And I got more coming up for you later in this recording. More about that eviction moratorium, the forced stimulus, and that CDC order. Stay with me. I'll be back with you in about 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues on this channel in about 30 minutes from now as one more afternoon's LALATE rolls out before we go into evening's LALATE. And tonight's evening's LALATE will be a blockbuster, so don't miss that show tonight at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But I'm back into the live chat with you right after this in the next video. That's in about 15 minutes from now, so join me for that one as well. If you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You don't want to miss a single video across the board. And boy, today was a day in which we learned a lot of information. I'll be going over that recap of the new information we're hearing in just the last few hours from viewers. And of course, the big news for the president as well. Also, like this video. And if you're not becoming a member, consider becoming a member. This is what viewers showed us today. One, more got alerts that there's a March 31st direct deposit pending. Second, viewers told us that about 100 plus of them got that March 26th check late today, March 29th. And viewers actually also told us when they were similarly situated, some got it in the mail today, some didn't get it in the mail today. One person said, my daughter got it, I didn't get mine. Another person said, I got it in my, 5 people in my building got it, but I didn't get mine. So it's just, it's how things are. We remain patient, we remain calm, and we remain focused across the board. The President of the United States did a lot of series of different things today. Among them was the eviction moratorium. Yes, the eviction moratorium has now been extended to June. That is a CDC eviction moratorium, which will provide that you cannot be evicted from a home or apartment you rent from, only residential, if you cannot make rent. You go to the CDC, Center for Disease Control website, and download that form, give it to your landlord, the declaration. If you've done it before, you don't have to do it again. It is now extended to June 30th. If you need help with the CDC order, the volunteers can help you as well. What's going to go on in June? It won't get extended again, says analysts now. They say that because of the third stimulus providing for rent, utilities, food, and mortgage assistance, that money will land in the next 3 weeks, and after that, they don't need to extend this eviction moratorium. Had that money landed in time, they would have ended the eviction moratorium today, but they did not. So it will be extended to June, and that's likely the end of it. Meantime, a lot of property owners reportedly in a series of news reports now, small apartment, single owner buildings are losing their buildings and selling them in fire sales because they cannot make rent, and they don't think that the third stimulus package provides them enough relief. Elsewhere, the president in 48 hours from now will debut the fourth stimulus package. The fourth stimulus package will have stimulus in it. Now, I want you to understand, this is going to be like Machance and Temple of Doom 2.0. It will be, because you're going to look at it and say, oh, no, I can't stand this. What is this horrible bill? And I know you're going to say that because I know there's going to be something horrible in it. Well, guess what? It's going to get butchered by fellow Democrats. Fellow Democrats have already said that they will not support it if, one, there is no reoccurring stimulus checks. Number two, if it is not paid for itself. Number three, if there is no Republican support for it. And four, if it raises taxes. Well, guess what? All those 4 problems will likely be at hand when the bill's debuted in 48 hours from now. It will be a climate, infrastructure, and also stimulus bill. It will be one of 2 over the next 30 days. This is called fourth stimulus on this channel. There will be another one in late April that will be called fifth stimulus. What's great news, however, is that if the Democrats do hold out for those multiple stimulus checks, guess what? They'll get in there. Why? Because Chuck Schumer has not 1, but 2 reconciliations left, says a new report from Political. My opinion of the situation, he has at least 1, guaranteed. And when I asked viewers earlier today, they agreed. They think he has at least 1. Let me explain what's going on. It's a little bit strange for some people to understand. But reconciliation is a process that only allows you to use it once in a congressional term. That congressional term started in January and ends in September. And you saw reconciliation just a few weeks ago in third stimulus. So why is there another one allowed? Because of the following. The Senate Democrats saved, and the Congress saved, a reconciliation from last year and never used it. And rather, they used that one for third stimulus in January. The current year's reconciliation has not been used. And so that unused one from this year will be used for fourth stimulus. Okay, so then what about fifth stimulus? Where are you going to get money for fifth stimulus? Where are you going to get the recon for fifth stimulus? There's a rule that Senator Schumer is going to rely upon, and this is where it's a 50-50. We don't know if this rule is going to work with a Senate parliamentarian, but there's a rule called Section 304 in which Schumer is going to claim that he can modify a prior reconciliation with another reconciliation. Well, the Senate parliamentarian will ultimately decide whether he can or cannot, and that will have an implication to fifth stimulus, not the current stimulus. And there you go. The great news is that you're going to get a fourth stimulus bill debuted on Wednesday. And on Wednesday, it may not have stuff in there, but don't worry, because ultimately what will get in there will be put in there by the Democrats in the Senate. Those Senate Democrats who wrote that letter demanding reoccurring stimulus checks or no vote to the president. And that's the incredible great news for you. Now, let's go back to one last thing before we cut back to your stimulus checks, that $1,400. A new video from the CDC director released today is just shocking. It's shocking. And it's a day in which we saw the resurgence of the virus. Dr. Walensky, who I've detailed on this channel, I have never, ever seen her so emotional as I saw her today. And let's listen in to why she was so emotional in this recording.
Promise to you, I would tell you the truth, even if it was not the news we wanted to hear. Now is one of those times when I have to share the truth and I have to hope and trust you will listen. I'm going to pause here. I'm going to lose the script and I'm going to reflect on the recurring feeling I have of impending doom. We have so much to look forward to, so much promise and potential of where we are, and so much reason for hope. But right now I'm scared. I know what it's like as a physician to stand in that patient room, gowned, gloved, masked, shielded, and to be the last person to touch someone else's loved one because their loved one couldn't be there. I know what it's like when you're the physician, when you're the healthcare provider, and you're worried that you don't have the resources to take care of the patients in front of you. I know that feeling of nausea when you read the crisis standards of care and you wonder whether there are going to be enough ventilators to go around and who's going to make that choice. And I know what it's like to pull up to your hospital every day and see the extra morgue sitting outside. I didn't know at the time when it would stop. We didn't have the science to tell us. We were just scared. We have come such a long way. 3 historic scientific breakthrough vaccines, and we are rolling them out so very fast. So I'm speaking today not necessarily as your CDC director, and not only as your CDC director, but as a wife, as a mother, as a daughter, to ask you to just please hold on a little while longer. I so badly want to be done. I know you all so badly want to be done. We are just almost there, but not quite yet. And so I'm asking you to just hold on a little longer, to get vaccinated when you can, so that all of those people that we all love will still be here when this pandemic ends.
Why was she emotional in this video? Let me explain why. Because a new Johns Hopkins report out today reveals that there's a 5% day-to-day increase of the virus across the United States, and that the week-to-week growth is about 16 to 20% in 30 states currently. So there's a massive, massive surge, and this is as spring break revelers continue to revel in Miami and Vegas with no masks and right on top of each other. So with that, Where are we? Well, let's cut back to that $14 third stimulus check. That $14 third stimulus check will land in some bank accounts on Wednesday. It will land in some bank accounts tomorrow, Tuesday. Which banks tomorrow? Smaller banks that release funds ahead of time, like Chime, Cash App, Encore, and TurboTax and Green Emerald. Which banks release funds on Wednesday? Big banks, and also Direct Express. These are banks that release funds on the first wave on a Wednesday. They were Citizens Bank, PNG, Bancorp, Chime, PayPal, NetSpend, Green Dot, PayPal, United, US Bank, PNC, Capital One, Lake Michigan, Union Bank, MetaBank, Amex, Bluebird, Navy Federal, BBT, Woodforest, USAA, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase, H&R Block, Green Emerald Card, and TurboTax. Which banks released funds on the last Wednesday? Those were PNC, Wells, Arvers, US Bank, Chase, Direct Express, Green Dot, Citizens Bank, B of A, H&R Block, Regions Bank, and TD Bank. Which banks have released funds so far? They are NetSpend, and MetaBank in advance of Wednesday's drop date. The banks that would release funds on Wednesday, not ahead of time, are the big banks like Chase and Citibank and Direct Express. Which people are getting checks by mail? Over 50% of you. If you have a result for your name, good. If you don't, check that tool once a day. If you still don't have a result for your tool, for your name, then it's likely in the mail. Don't miss the mail every day. Go slowly through the mail. Check every line and flip through it because it may be in the mail. Direct Express is going to the mail. 50% of Direct Express consumers are going to the mail. SSI and SSDI is going to the mail. Veterans are going to the mail. People who file tax returns are going to the mail. People who have who did the non-filer filing are going to the mail. It will be a mailed check or a mailed debit card. With that, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Also, like this video. And guess what? I'm back in the live chat right after this. In 3 minutes from now, I'm back in the live chat for our last interactive video of the day. So join me. I want to hear all your comments and all your questions across the board and see any new updates you may have from the tool, from the mailbox, or the direct deposit account. As always, stay informed, stay focused, and I'll be back with you in just 3 minutes from now as Afternoons LA continues.